I have a statement that I would like to make today. Yes, Christ will accept you any kind of way because you will not stay that way. You can come as you are, but you will not stay as you are. And somebody may say, what do you mean? I want you to think about your life. And I want you to think about what is the reason right now that you're saying you don't want to come to Christ. What is the reason right now that you're saying you don't want to surrender to Christ? What is the reason right now why you're saying you don't want to work for Christ? Because you're saying that you have too many hang up about yourself and you want to wait till you get yourself right. See, I can remember saying, I'm going to start serving the Lord when I turn 50. And that very well may be you today. See, you may be one of those people who say, I'm going to start serving the Lord when I get a little bit older. Or I'm going to start serving the Lord, but I got to stop drinking first. I got to stop smoking first. I got to stop going out first. I got to stop sleeping around first. I need to get married first. I got to stop doing these drugs first. I got to stop going certain places first. Could that very well be you? You're putting your life on hold with God because you think you can fix yourself. But the only thing is, you can't fix yourself. The only person that can fix you, the only person that can transform you is the one true and living God. And I'm going to read that today. I'm going to read a couple of verses, and I want you to think about what those verses say. And it very well could be you. See, you could be one of those people who feel like, I'll start serving the Lord when I'm this age, or when I stop doing this, or when I stop doing that. But see, the only dangerous thing about that is that what if we don't make it to be that age? And that was just like with me saying, I'm going to start serving the Lord when I'm 50. It's no guarantee that I was going to make it to be 50. See, the enemy has us confused. The enemy has us thinking, yeah, just wait till you get a little bit older. Wait till you stop doing this. And you know what the enemy already know? The enemy already knows, number one, we can't do nothing without God. And the enemy wants us to keep putting it on hold, saying, I'll do it when I'm in my 40s, when I'm in my 50s, when I'm in my 60s. Because what the enemy knows is it's a strong possibility that you may not even see that age. And he just wants you to go down the wrong road. So again, I'm going to read Romans chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. And I want you to think about what it's saying. And so, dear brothers and sisters, I plead with you to give your bodies to God because of all he has done for you. Give your bodies to God for all he has done for you. Let them be a living and holy sacrifice, the kind he will find acceptable. This is truly the way to worship him. Verse 2. Don't copy the behaviors and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person. But let God transform you into a new person. Not mama, not daddy, not pastor, not husband, not wife, not job, but God. Let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. Then I'm going to jump over and I'm going to read Galatians 2. And I'm going to read Galatians 2, verse 20. And it says, my old self has been crucified with Christ. My old self has been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. So I live in this earthly body by trusting in the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. I want you to think about what I just read. And when you get another minute, go back and read it for yourself. What is holding you back now from going to Christ to surrender to him? Because you can't fix yourself. You can't fix yourself. Nobody can fix you but God. See, I want you to think about it again. Christ will accept you. Understand this. Christ will accept you any kind of way because you will not stay that way. It's not enough drugs that you have taken that God will not accept you. It's not enough alcohol that you have drank that God will not accept you. It's not enough abortions that you have had why God will not accept you. It's not enough people that you could have slept around with that God will not accept you. God will accept you. The fact that you've been in that same-sex relationship, or the fact that you've been in that relationship for 14 and 15 years and you've been shacking with that man or woman and you haven't got married yet. God says he will accept you that way because you will not stay that way. And that's the difference between what God will do and what man cannot do. See, when your mom accepts you, your mama just accepts you that way and you stay that way. When your friends, they accept you that way and you just stay that way. If your spouse, they accept you that way because you stay that way. But when Christ accepts you that way, you can no longer stay that way because Christ will transform you. Whatever it is that you feel like you have done, you can be the meanest person, the rudest person. God will accept you that way. It doesn't matter if you're a thief, if you're a murderer, if you're a molester, God will accept you that way. Because what Christ is saying, you will not stay that way. It doesn't matter if you're a fighter. It doesn't matter if you hurt people. God says he will accept you that way. It doesn't matter if you have a foul mouth. It doesn't matter the type of music you listen to, what the things that you watch on that TV. God says he will accept you that way because you will not stay that way. So right now, somebody needs to go and somebody needs to surrender to Christ on today and say, I no longer want to stay this way. It does not matter what you're dealing with and going through, what you've been through. Christ will accept you that way. You got somebody right now saying, but I can't go to Christ because I did too much. It's not enough that you can do that Christ will not accept you. It's not enough that you can do that Christ will not accept you. Christ is saying, come to me. Christ is saying, I will accept you that way because you will no longer stay that way. Christ will transform you into a new person. The old man will be gone and a new man will be raised up. Christ is saying right now to somebody, come to me, surrender to me so you can live for me. And once you're living for Christ, you'll be forever with Christ and you will know you'll be living right with Christ. So seek the Lord. Have a true relationship with him. And when you leave this world, you will be greeted by him. So always remember my closing. Self-examination is the best examination. And Jesus Christ is Lord and he's all we have. Have a great rest of the day.